Hey everybody, welcome to the topic today, which is ratios and proportions. So a ratio is just a comparison between two numbers. As you can see here, I'm comparing 4 to 2. This is in the form of a fraction. We can also write it like this, which you will see later on in this unit. We have it written as 4 colon 2, so this is just a different way of writing the same ratio. Now, over here you might notice a second ratio, 12 to 6. We're going to see if these two things are proportional. If they're proportional, they should have the same scale factor, meaning that whatever number I use to multiply 4 to become 12, I need the same number to multiply 2 to make it become 6. So if I use the same scale factor, then these would in fact be proportional. So the number I would need to multiply to make 4 become 12 happens to be 3. That's also true to make 2 become 6. I would need to multiply by 3. Because I'm using the same scale factor, these are in fact a proportion. And we would write that as 4 over 2 is equal to 12 over 6. So here we have two ratios, and we're trying to figure out if each one is proportional or not. So what we're going to do, the easiest way to do this is to reduce them to simplest terms. So we need to think of the greatest common divisor, meaning what number are both 4 and 2 divisible by, but that the highest number that they're both divisible by, or the greatest. So they're both divisible by 2. So if I divide 4 by 2, it's going to give me 2. And 2 divided by 2 leaves me with 1. Now the question is that equal to the simplified form of 20 over 6? Well, both 20 and 6 are only divisible by 2, so that's going to leave me with 10 over 3, which cannot be simplified any further. Now these are not equal. That means we do not have a proportion because the scale factor between them was not the same. So these are not proportional. Over here, okay, another way of doing the same type of problem, we would just try to think, what number do I need to multiply 4 to make it become 8? Well, 4 times 2 becomes 8, and what number do I need to make 3 in order for it to become 6? I'd multiply by 2. So here I had a different method of doing this. I just thought about what multiplies. They both happen to have the same scale factor, so this is a big old yes. These are proportional. Okay. Those of you who want to see it done like this particular one, let's just reduce. 4 over 3 does not reduce any further. We ask, is that equal to 8 over 6? Well, 8 and 6 are both divisible by 2. That leaves us with 4 over 3. And we can see now that they do, in fact, equal each other, again giving us that this is a ratio, proportional ratios. Okay, so there's two methods of doing these. Try either method that you feel comfortable with. Try C and D on your own. Pause the video and come back. See how you did. Alright, let's see how you did. I'm going to just reduce this other side. I should notice that 4 over 3 is already reduced as far as it can go. But 12 and 16 are both divisible by 4. So 16 divided by 4 is 4. 12 by 4 is 3. I can see that they are equal to each other. So yes, that is a proportion. And again, if I look at 3 over 2, well, let's try the other method. The number that we need to multiply 3 to get 18 is 6. The number that we need to multiply 2 to get 8 is 4. I can see here that I do not have the same scale factor, so this answer is no. So either method will get you the correct answer. It's up to you which one you like best. Hopefully you did those two correct. The next type of problems are solving a proportion. Now, you may have seen something called cross multiplication in the past. And I'm going to just show you real quick, using just letters, what's going on. If I wanted to solve or get rid of b from this side, I would have to multiply by b on both sides. And then I would have to eliminate my b's, which would give me a equals cb over d. And in order to get rid of this d, I would have to multiply both sides by d to eliminate, which would give me ad equals cb. Now, all this might sound confusing because none of these are numbers, and I get that that can be a little tricky. But what's really being shown here is that when we started off, we had to multiply both sides by our bottom number, our denominator. We had to multiply both sides in order to get it to go away. And then we had to do the same thing. We had to multiply both sides by d, or whatever number that happened to be, to get it to go away also, so that we have just straight multiplication, which is a lot more friendly to work with. Well, the reason why I show that, and the reason why I had mentioned cross multiplication, is because all cross multiplication does is take out these two steps for us. If we recognize with proportions that we can just multiply our top times our bottom of opposite ratios, and again our top and bottoms multiply on the opposite ratios, it's going to cut out a step of work for us. So let's see that in action. In this particular example, I'm going to cross multiply k, which is on the bottom, times 8, which is on the top of the opposite ratio. So that's going to give me 8k. That's equal to, when I cross multiply, I have 10 times 4, which is 40. All I have to do now is divide by 8, and I will get k equals 5 for my solution. Okay, so I want you to try these three on your own. Use the cross multiplication method. Multiply cross. Okay, so try this, pause the video, come back, and see how you did in a minute. Alright, let's check out how you did. Cross multiplying, 4 times x gives us 4x. 9 times 8 gives us 72. When we divide both sides by 4, we end up getting x equaling 18. How about C? Again, we're just going to cross multiply. We're going to get 3a equals, let's see, 6 times 8 is 48. And if we divide by 3 on both sides, well, let's see, 48 divided by 3 is going to be 16. And one last problem. 2 times p is going to equal 8 times 13. Let's see, 96, 104. And if we divide both sides by 2, well, 104 divided by 2 is 52. So p equals 52. Well, I hope that you did okay with all of those. If you have any questions, you can leave them on the website, or you can ask me in class when you see me.